everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Emmy. Now, that opening sentence that I have just said has already become my past and your past. This may seem very scary, but it is the reality. So this is the theme we're going to cover in today's video: time management and the biggest lie we tell in our life. Let's get started. I want to introduce or perhaps reiterate from the beginning the biggest lie we tell in our life, and that is, I do not have time. Well, you do have time, and you have a lot of time because you're still living, you're still watching this video, and this means you have time. Stop saying this because it is likely that this sentence will bring negative effects on your view of life and therefore your life in general. Learn how to become a time manager, and that will really shape your view of the world. In my opinion, time management is not a choice. It is something that is given to you from your birth. Time passes whether you care about it or not. So why shouldn't we care about it? So time is everything for everyone, including IB students. Make time your friend and not your enemy. This is such an important concept that we have to keep in mind throughout our life. Now, this may seem very cliche, but sometimes cliches are true. If I start talking about time management, I can talk about it for a century. So, there are 3 specific goals that we're going to achieve in today's video. Now, let's start from the philosophical view of time management. This may seem very weird, and you might ask, well, what is the link between philosophy and time management? Well, there is a huge link. If you don't understand the philosophy of time well, then it's difficult for you to become a good time manager. In fact, one of the biggest philosophical questions asked by the philosopher Albert Camus is, why don't you kill yourself right now? So why do we keep living? The answer to this question marks the beginning of your time management. So here we're not talking about time as money, we're talking about time as meaning. I think one of the reasons for which people experience failures with time management, which is okay, is the fact that they're always trying to squeeze more things into a certain period of time. But sometimes we do need to view time management as a process of getting most out of a period of time, which is different from the previous one. So a lot of people think, well, it's better to get 6 things done in an hour compared to 5, which is sometimes true, and that's okay. But if we don't understand what we're doing, why we're doing, if we don't examine the thing from different perspectives and views, we might just end up getting failures more quickly rather than more things done. So this is why I said understanding the philosophy of time is the heart to begin. Let me tell you what I usually do to remind myself. So when I get up in the morning, I first ask myself, well, why don't I kill myself right now? I reflect upon that question for a while, and then when I have an answer, I am ready for that day and for all the things I want to do. The answer to that question gives me the motivation to get things done and leave that day efficiently. So basically, this is the philosophical view of time management. It's just a process of letting you understand why you have to manage your time instead of just how and making plans, which we're gonna look later on. If you don't perceive time as a source of meaning, then it will be difficult for you to have that motivation to manage it effectively. So once we understand the reason behind time management, we can now start looking at how we can do this. And the answer is very straightforward. As you might know, we do it through making plans. In general, there are 3 different ways of looking at plans. We have yearly plan, we have monthly plan, and we have a daily plan. Now, some people may find it very useful, but I personally don't think that yearly plan is a good tool for me. Not because I cannot plan far, but I just think it gets easily forgotten as we focus on the individual days. Now, what I do is I set yearly goals for myself, which is a bit different from plans. And to be honest, I did make a plan last year for 2020, but everything sadly went out of expectation. So that yearly plan went directly into the bin without being used in any ways. Again, this is just my personal opinion, but I do know people who find yearly plans quite useful to have. Okay, let's come back to a discussion of daily plans and monthly plans. I would first like to show you how I make daily plans. Some people like to make daily plans on computer, which is okay, but I personally just never caught that habit. So I am actually quite an old-fashioned person, so I go with paper. And the way I make my daily plan is through agenda or diaries, as you might call it. This is the first agenda that I have ever used in my life, and this is also where I started my time management 2 years ago. So as you can see, it's quite full with a lot of things written in it. Now, in the course of 2 years, I have actually adapted myself for different types or structures of daily plans, and I'm currently using the one that I am currently using, and I'll show you how that goes later on. When I started, you can see it's very messy, and I think all daily plans are like this. When I started time management, I didn't write a lot of things in it. It was just some like key points or like to-do list that I have thought of. Later on, as I proceeded, I discovered that I actually a more detailed plan, daily plan is more suited for me. So the next year I brought a bigger one. Yeah, this is even fuller than the previous one, and it's a bit more organized once I started to adopt a more like a better technique of making plans. I started to use colors to help me understand the different parts of the work that I have to do. It's actually very enjoying when you read back to these diaries, agendas, because they always give me like a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction, as if I have done a lot with the time that I had last year. Now, this is the one that I'm currently using, and well, it says a yearly planner, but it's actually a daily planner. So as you can see here, it got much more organized, and I adopted even more colors in it. And its size is like approximately the same as my second one. The first one was really small, as you can see here. Yeah, so let's see some of the pages of my agenda now. Now I want to show you a page of my agenda in the recent month and explain to you the structure that I adopt to make my daily plan. So this is an example of a daily plan that I've made for 16th of November. So I'm just gonna go over it with you to explain the structure in which I design my plans. So this part of the plan is written the day before. So after I finish each of the subjects on Sunday, I'll write what I have to do next Monday. By the end of Sunday, I will have this part completed. If there is like a big event on that day, I'll usually write it in the top, like that day was my chemistry IA final submission. So it is really clear that I have to submit my final chemistry IA on that day. Okay, now this part of the plan is written on Sunday evening before I go to sleep. That's basically where I look over everything I have to do the next day and then put them in order with the timeline here to indicate when exactly I have to do those works. So this is such an important step because a lot of people say, well, I also make to-do list, but I never finish them. Well, if you don't plan when you're gonna do and how you're gonna do those to-do lists, and you're never gonna finish it. So planning in terms of time is super important. Before I go to dinner, I would work on this part of the plan, which is called to do. Basically, I'll see what I've done over the entire day and then think about the things I will have to do during evening after dinner. So in this case, you can see there's uni preparation, CAS, EDA essay, math practice, and psychology. It's quite exaggerated because that day was super busy, I still remember, but I did not get to finish everything, but that's fine, and everything here will be considered the next day. So yeah, this is basically the way I make my daily plans. There could be a lot of other ways to do it. This is just my habit. I divide up my daily plan into 3 sections, as you can see here. So the advice would be find an adequate type or structure for making plans for yourself and then stick to it. Make sure it becomes like a habit to yourself. Okay, that's how I make my daily plans. Let's now focus on the monthly plan. I think a lot of people have misconceptions about what a monthly plan really is. It's not just a list of things you're going to do in this next month, nor a list of the things that are going to happen in this next month. It's kind of a mix of two. So a monthly plan is a list of the things you're going to do in this next month, planned accordingly to what is going to happen in this next month. Now let me show you what I have done using this monthly planner to plan for my chemistry mock exam. So the first stage of the planning is this kind of list with the use of past paper that I have organized, listed for my mocks and the real exam. So after I have made this list, it's a matter of just putting the things in into the monthly planner. So this is the plan that I have made for my chemistry mocks preparation, and as you can see here, I'm currently working on it, and it's divided into paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 2 takes more time, so I usually spend about 2 to 3 days to finish one paper 2. And as you can see here, it's planned according to the things that are going to happen in this next month, which is December. So I'm not working on the 24th and 25th of December, neither the 31st and the 1st of January. And yeah, basically this is how I plan out my use of past paper, according and alternating with review sessions as the mocks approach. Here you can see on the last day, or rather after I have finished all of my past papers for the mocks, there's a day called self-assessment. This is where I sit down and reflect upon my review wrote throughout this month, and think about which are the topics that are that I am most uncertain with, which are the topics that needs more revision. And this type of kind of self-assessment is very useful to do just like a week before the actual mocks, because it really allows us to understand our current level and position in regard to the syllabus. The other thing I wanted to show you is my psychology plan. So as you know, psychology, we don't really need past paper because all the prompts are there available for us. So instead of past papers, I am actually practicing a few of the prompts each day. The plan is very scary at a first glance, but it's okay. So this is the plan for my psychology prompt preparation. Now I have currently worked through quite a lot of prompts, and currently working on this. If you don't know the structure of a psychology exam, it's basically for paper 1 you have 3 SAQs to write. You write 3 of them in 1 hour, and then 1 ERQ, which is a long essay, and you write 1 of them in 1 hour. So every day I have planned out 1 hour for psychology revision, in which I would either write 3 SAQs or 1 ERQ. And my plan is to practice as many paper 1 and paper 2 prompts as possible before the mocks, and they're written right here. The reason why I'm writing them out is because in psychology you need to be able to write super quickly in the exam, because it's very time pressured. So it's good to have some sort of practice of handwriting before the mocks. And behind this, as I practice through the prompts, there are certainly some prompts that I feel like oh no, I have to revise the content more before I would be able to write a good essay on, and I'll just write in here because otherwise it's likely that I forget about them. And yeah, those are my ways of making monthly plans and then daily plans. I hope you can at least get some inspiration from what I do, and I find this type of planning really helpful, and especially once you've understood the motivation behind your time management. Now, before I close, I want to just cover the last goal for today's video, and that is misconceptions about time management. Now, why is this important to cover? Because you see and I see a lot of people around us who feel very, very stressful with their time management. So they literally get to points where if they do not stick, or if they cannot stick to their time plan, they get very frustrated, and that's not healthy, because time management is supposed to be something not stressful, because once you manage your time, you should be able to understand that you have enough time to do what you want to do. So why do these people get so mad about this? This is a mistake that a lot of people make, and I made it too when I first started time management. And the answer to this is that we're not robots. We cannot live like machines, which perfectly follows a time plan that is being made for us. And remember, we're human beings. It's totally okay to not be able to stick to our time plans. Now, I'm not saying, okay, you can just make a plan and then just let it go without even looking at it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, even if sometimes you are not able to do certain things at a certain time period, or you do 5 instead of 6 things in an hour, that's okay. That's totally okay. Flexibility and the ability to reorganize your time when something unexpected happens is also a type of skill for time management. So be friendly with your time, and your time will be friendly to you as well. Don't get mad at it. It has done nothing wrong. It's your attitude and perspective that has to change. Okay, I understand this is a long video of you seeing my face, so I'm going to conclude very quickly. So, a few key points to reiterate. First, make time your friend and not your enemy. And second, time management is not a choice. It's something given to you, assigned to you from your birth. And third, be friendly with time, and time will be friendly to you as well. Okay, I hope this video has been useful to you, and see you next time.